If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. I don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, no wind to blow. Reach out your hand. If your cup be empty, if your cup is full, may it be again. Let it be known there is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. There is a road, no simple highway, between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water where there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. You who choose to lead must follow. But if you fall alone. If you should stand, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home. Words by Robert Hunter. Music by Jerry Garcia. It's nice to meet you on the path. That song is called Ripple. It's a Grateful Dead favorite. And this episode is a tribute to Robert Hunter. He died last week, and I think his writing is among the best ever. So I thought I would read, sing, or whatever that noise is that comes out of me, his lyrics today, and I'll talk about some other stuff too. So if you're a Grateful Dead fan, I hope you enjoy. And if you maybe not familiar with the Grateful Dead, maybe it'll encourage you to check them out. And I saw Grateful Dead in 1994 and 1995. I remember my dad was dropping me off in my mom's neighborhood, so I would have been 14, 15 years old. And he was about to drop me off, and I was like, will you keep driving for a minute? And he said, okay. So basically I said, well, I'd like to go to a Grateful Dead concert with my friends. And I don't think maybe my mom wouldn't be down for that, so we could just say I'm at your place, then that'd be cool. I'm like, okay. And also, can I have like $150? And so he hooked me up with some cash, and I went with my friends and saw Jerry Garcia. And It was pretty cool. So in '95, second time I saw. First time '94. To be honest, I'm not quite sure I made it into the concert. I took a heap and helping of LSD, and um, that was in the parking lot. Next thing I remember was about 12 hours later, what my brain and my eyes saw, and where I really was all started to like coagulate or something again, and I knew where I was. So I may have completely missed the '94 show. I may have went there and had a hell of a time. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But '95, I was there for sure. It was actually when there was the break-in, and it was different when it first started. Um, it turned into this whole big thing. But at first, so I was walking down, what they call it, like shakedown. They have the Grateful Dead parking lot was this thing where you could get good burritos and stuff, some grilled cheeses, and this I was walking, and well, I'm gonna skip over that. Well, I don't know. I'll go ahead and tell you. So I was walking, and I'm maybe just like smoking some weed or something like, and this guy, I see him put a hit in his mouth, and then he's walking towards me, and he just holds his hand out like he's gonna give me one, and I hold my hand out, and he drops it right in my palm, and I put it right in my mouth, and it was pretty cool. So uh, then after a little bit, this girl walks by, and she's like, "If you want to get in, follow me." I'm like, okay, I'd like to get in. We didn't have tickets for that year, I don't think, and yeah, we had tickets the year before, not that year. And so I start following her, and I don't even remember her ever even making eye contact with me. She's just walking. And she's just like telling people, if you want to get in, follow me. And then after a while, I look back, and there's a lot of people following us. I think I'm the first one that started following her. And then we like cross over this like little creek. It was at Deer Creek. And there weren't very many people over there, but there were like some security guards and stuff. And so it was like, it was a little bit different than what it ended up being. But, long story short, I ended up getting in, just like walked right through. And I saw this one security guard running downhill and this hippie kind of jogging uphill. And the security guard tackled him like it was NFL. It was crazy. And then once we were in, I got all the way down to the box seats. I was like, I don't even know how exactly close I got. I was way close. And then they were coming around checking tickets, so I went back out to the lawn, and I'm like walking. So this place is packed. It was packed already, but it's even more packed because people were getting in for free. And I go up, and out of these, I don't know, 50,000 people or whatever, I run into my buddy. And he got in too, and he was the one who I came with. We all separated at the beginning. We just scattered, and then I see him, and it was, was what it was. But after a while, I remember like when they were tearing the fence down, like there was this guy, and he was like, "Stop! You're hurting your brothers and sisters." And so I said that I remember they fence about came down on somebody, and it was like this whole thing. It ended up being not cool, but at the time, it seemed like it was okay. I mean, sometimes when you're at the very beginning of something, you just have no idea what it'll end up being. And when I looked out past the fence after I was already in, it was crazy. Anyways, I didn't want to get off on all of that stuff, but so Ripple, everybody loves the song Ripple. It's maybe even like It's probably an insult to call it like one of their more commercial hits, but there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a commercial hit, right? So part of what I wanted this show to be is not just a tribute to Robert Hunter. That's what I want it to be mostly, but also a tribute to the dead. Okay, you have like the Grateful Dead, the band, they're called the Dead, okay? But also like the dead as in not alive anymore. So kind of everybody. Okay, not just the band The Dead and not just Robert Hunter who recently died. But beyond that, I want it to be like a tribute to people who are still alive. It seems like I don't know, maybe like from my, speaking from my own, like where am I coming from here? So, like I'm sitting at this table that I'm on. It was my grandma's table. She died when my mom was pregnant with me. My dad's mom. Just, this mug was my dad's mug. My dad died in 2005. This was his go-to mug. I drink out of it pretty much every day. I'm drinking coffee now. I usually drink coffee on the show. Lately, I've been doing a little bit of yerba mate, sometimes other tea. And I talk about my dad, but my mom is still alive. Sometimes I drink out of a mug she gave me too, and I've talked about that a little bit. So, do you think maybe when these people die that mean so much to us, like Robert Hunter probably didn't know who I was. He was the main songwriter for a band that sold more concert tickets than anyone ever. It was, but when he was playing his own shows, they weren't that popular. I don't believe. It's the same songs we love. He's playing Ripple. He wrote the damn thing. But 50,000 people aren't going to those concerts. Maybe but probably when it was like just a Jerry Garcia concert, it didn't attract as many as, when it was called the Grateful Dead. So what does it mean when we're trying to do these tributes, or like when Prince died, or when these huge iconic stars that their music touches millions of people? I've been reading Grateful Dead lyrics, especially Robert Hunter, on the show for quite a while now. I've read it many, many times. But is there something about maybe the mortality of the people that are still alive? Let's see if I can make sense of this, because I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Like you can say, I don't call my mom enough. I don't have anything against her. She's a great mom. She does a lot to help people, and no problem whatsoever. And I guess we have the excuse we get busy, right? That kind of thing. Like Jordan Peterson was talking about him, how often he gets to see his mom, and I think maybe his mom was 70 years old. He said, okay, she's doing okay, but maybe she'll live to be 80. And he says he sees her twice a year. So then he starts doing doing that math. He's like, I'm only going to see my mom 20 more times. unless I do something different. So you can think like, okay, she's 70, she's in good shape. She'll probably live to be 80, maybe more. See her twice a year. So let's break that down, and she has 5 years to go. So we never know what's going to happen, right? I might be checking out tomorrow. Who knows? So it's 5 years. You see her twice a year. You're only going to see her 10 more times. Is that good? Is that good with you? Talking to myself here also, right? I don't know. It's kind of it's a weird thing. I don't have a good answer. I don't. Now there's. I just flipped to this, and I have all these bookmarks, and I just flipped to this one. Yeah, it's written by Hunters also. I'm going to go on. I'm just going to read this. I'm going to go ahead and sing it. Now, some of these songs, they have these, meanings to me, and maybe they remind me of a particular woman, and maybe this scenario has come up with more than one woman, and maybe I'll tell those stories and maybe not. But the point of this show is to be like a little nostalgia for the people that are already fans. People that aren't fans, introduce you to it. Sorry if my singing isn't up to par, but I'm gonna try. I'm not thinking I'm this great singer that I'm, blessing the masses with my vocal capabilities. Here we go. This one's called High Time. You told me goodbye. How was I to know? You didn't mean goodbye. You meant please. Don't let me go. I was having a high time, living the good life. Well, I know the wheels are muddy. Sing along with me if you know it. Got a ton of hay. Now listen here, baby, 'cause I mean what I say. I'm having a hard time living the good life. Well, I know I was losing time. I had nothing to do, no one to fight. I came to you. Wheels broke down. The leader won't draw. The line is busted. The last one I saw. Tomorrow come trouble. Tomorrow come pain. Now don't think too hard, babe, 'cause you know what I'm saying. I could show you a high time, living the good life. Don't be that way. Nothing's for certain. It could always go wrong. Come in when it's raining. Go on out when it's gone. We could have us a high time. Living the good life. Well, I know. That song reminds me of a few things, few people. I had a girlfriend break up with me on my birthday a couple of years ago, and we were kind of like, then in this crazy stream of circumstances, I ended up seeing someone else really quickly. This amazing sequence of events happened, and I'm not going to get into that. I've talked about it before. But she didn't know that, the one that broke up with me. And then she's sending me some texts talking about some personal stuff, and so I'm responding to her, and then after a couple texts, I was like, I got to tell you something. I'm seeing somebody, and well, it turned out that like when she broke up with me, she didn't mean like break up. She thought we were going to get back together, but it's her idea to break up. So, anyways, and then it kind of reminds me of this friend who we ended up kind of seeing each other for a while, and then just back to friends. And there was some stuff that I didn't quite understand, but it's all okay. It's better as friends. It's a powerful song. It's like the song "High Time." It's I know I'm not doing it justice. There will be a time when I have played guitar and sang on the show before. I think I use Zoom meeting to record this because it records it how I want. So I can easily put it on YouTube and then the audio on through Libsyn, and it's a whole thing. But when I tried doing singing and playing guitar, it didn't sound right. So I'm looking for the next song here. I'm reading this singing out of it's the complete annotated Grateful Dead lyrics, forward by Robert Hunter. I wonder how long that forward is. Do I want to read that or probably not? Yeah, it's pretty long. I'm not going to read that. Well, before I read this next one, which is one of my favorite, I say like all of them are one of my favorites. They have like 10 bookmarks here. They're all like my favorites, and I have other favorites too. Lots of them, lots and lots and lots of them. Have you ever broke up with someone that you didn't want to break up with, and then when they move on, you're surprised or something? It's kind of strange how things work or don't work out sometimes, and kind of the way we each see these situations. And I can read that song and it has these memories for me. This like, first of all, just the heavy nostalgia of the Grateful Dead going back to when I was a young teenager, and being at the concerts, having the friends that were into the Grateful Dead, which is like this whole thing. And then if somebody started getting into the Grateful Dead just a few years ago, fun, cool. But they probably are not. They don't have all that same baggage with all these songs. I hear the song "High Time," and like I've talked about it before, it's not like you either like it or dislike it. You just feel it. And if you can't feel that song, I mean, maybe not with me singing it, but if you can listen to that song and not feel it, I mean, you gotta get your feelers checked out. But have you broken up with somebody and then wish you didn't later? You start to see them differently. Or maybe you kind of like take someone for granted. You have a girlfriend and you just think maybe you get a little bit complacent. You don't try as hard. And the next thing you know, she breaks things off, and then the next thing you know, she's off with someone else, and maybe you're looking at that dude, and maybe part of you can kind of understand that he has bigger biceps, or something. And maybe there's other times you're looking at him like, what the hell? That doesn't make sense. But it doesn't have to make sense to us, does it? We just have to, keep on rocking, keep on rolling. How close is how you see yourself to how other people see? So simple but deep is how I do it, right? A simple example is, like, I'm looking at my hair. I think I need a haircut. And when I look into my computer screen right now, I can see myself. It's all kind of like pixelated. I don't like to have bright lights. I like to wait till it's a little bit dark outside to get the show going. And I just have like one light on. And I think usually when it comes out on YouTube, it doesn't have so much of those pixels and stuff. But I see my hair. I was like, oh, I should get a haircut. And then there's this friend of mine. She's, she like tells me I should like let my hair grow out more. And I did let it grow out more for a while. And then so I'd cut it, and she would just say I should let it grow out. And I'm thinking, is she right? I don't know. What does she see that I don't? I mean, she's a woman, attractive woman, telling me how I should, what I should do with my hair. So listen or not, because I kind of like it better when it's even shorter than what it is right now. Like when I cut it down to an eighth, but sometimes I've been cutting it down to a quarter. Right. So the difference between there is I cut it to an eighth, and you can see the skin under my hair, and then if I cut it at a quarter, then you just see the hair. So what's the big deal? Well, I happen to have a date tomorrow. Yay me! And so I've been like, we just made the date today. Am I going to cut my hair? I've been thinking I should cut my hair. But I'm not just talking about like cutting my hair. You know what I'm saying? There's always something under what I'm saying. So is how you are trying to present yourself to the world the way they're perceiving it. Because for me, it's just like this convenience thing. And part of it's like the looks thing, I guess, because when my hair I just cut my hair all the same length. I don't bother fading or none of that. But this one girl who we used to date too, but she's telling me I should like let it grow out a bit more. Hope that's making sense. I'm not just talking about my hair. So these ripples. So get back to the first song, Ripple. So ripples in the water, and we each leave a wake in our path, right? We go through this world, and we're going to leave a wake. We're going to affect people. How are you going to affect people? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to help other people? I tried to help people. I've certainly had people helping me. A lot of times it's a mutual thing. A good example of that is the way my gym business is going. Really cool things are happening. A good friend of mine, Chris Atkins, started training clients at my gym. And it was kind of in a way, it was kind of a fast decision. I mean, it was easy. He's really good trainer, really good guy. I trust him completely. So it wasn't like I had to really think about whether I'd want him there or not. We talked about opening a gym before I even opened it. But like it came to like this, he was at a bit of he was ready to make a decision. Like, sure, come on and meet me at the gym in an hour and I'll give you a key. Cool, man. Glad to have you. So maybe he could look at it like I'm doing him a favor, but he's doing me a favor also because I get money from that. It is a business thing. And so it works out really cool. And that's one thing that I know that I like to do is to connect people with other people. I like to help people get jobs. People have helped me get jobs. I just got a new job. My buddy helped get me on there. I got fired from my last job Thursday, on a Thursday at 1 o'clock. I was hired at a job that I like way better Friday morning at 8. So I got fired at Thursday at 1. I got hired at 8:45 a.m. the next day. My buddy helped to get me on there. So I'm not trying to make it sound like I just go around helping people, and I've gotten a lot of help too, for sure. But it's so cool because I see that so many people are just like one person away from a new best friend, a cool job, and I've been lucky enough to be able to help people get jobs that are better than the ones they left, and people have done the same for me. Very, very cool. So just to make clear, I do have what I call my job, and I still own a gym and see clients there too. So I work from like 6 in the morning until 2:30 in the afternoon at the shop, and then I train clients in the afternoons and evenings. So this is kind of like back to the ripple. What do we leave in our wake? Today I was putting a new thermostat on my Jeep, and uh, one of the bolts is right behind the serpentine belt. And so I was like trying to push the bolt down, or push the belt down, while I took the bolt off, and there's a guy cleaning out the house next door. People moved out or whatever. Well, he happens to be a guy that was in my apartment just the other day, fixing my ceiling. Like where my ceiling was cracking a little bit in my apartment, and so him and another guy were fixing that up. So I recognized him out there, and he goes, he comes over to me, asks me what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, it's like, can you just hold this belt down? And so, and he actually gave me a longer socket too. And so he just hands me a longer socket, pushes the belt down. No big effort, but it's so much easier to get the damn thing out because and then the same thing getting it back in. I was having a hard time getting the bolt back in, and get it lined up, and I was trying not to drop it because if you drop it, then that's a real pain in the ass, and you have to take off the fan probably, and I was trying to do it all without taking off the fan shroud and all this stuff. So he comes over and just like pushes it down. Huge help. So he seemed like he knew about cars and stuff, but anybody that had a hand could have came up and just pushed that belt down, and it helped me out a lot. It made it way easier. Yes, I could have eventually got it, but it was a pain in the ass. And if I did drop that bolt, then it would have been like the whole thing of trying to get this bolt, unless it fell all the way to the ground, of course. But you know what I'm saying? Just a simple act made a big difference. So what can you do to help people out? How are people helping you, and what can you do? What kind of wake do you want to leave in your path? This show, I've left it like officially it's still fitness and consciousness because I didn't feel like going through all the steps yet as I'm figuring out the name. But I think the name Path Notes fits it better because we're on this path, and I'm talking about what's happening along the path. And then sometimes people join me on the path. You're listening to the show. I'll have guests on the show, and probably due for another guest. I'm always like talking to people about coming on, and then so I have several people talking about coming on. It's just a matter of making it happen. But just the path notes, because we're all in this boat together. And sometimes it's these songs. This book is, you're talking about the Grateful Dead playing for what, 60 years or something? It's over 400 pages of, it's mostly lyrics. It has it explains the lyrics, and it talks about some history stuff too, but a tremendous volume of work. There's Ram Dass. He was in one of his talks he was given when he was hadn't been back here from India for very long. This was in the 70s, and he said, "Tonight I'm helping people. Helping other people work on themselves as a way to work on myself." And that stuck with me. I like that. Because as a trainer, I love teaching people. I love showing people their strength. But it's not just this, aren't I great for helping people thing. That's for me too. I get a lot out of it. I get this pump, this high after sessions, whether I'm training martial arts with my friends or if I'm have clients, strength conditioning clients. Afterwards, I'm pretty pumped. I'm excited, and I'm thinking about the next time. I've known it for a long time, 1999, and I'm still just as excited or even more excited. I have books. I still have all these books I'm reading about it. Still learning. And I want to do more music too. I bought a guitar off of Chris Atkins, my buddy that is training with me at the gym now. And so I'd like to play more music on the show. I had to figure out how to make it sound right. I was using an app called Audacity. It's a good app, but it doesn't have video, so I have to figure it out. But I want to have musicians on, and one of my friends, she's been on the show before. I won't say who yet because I'm not 100% sure she's going to be doing this, but she seemed to like the idea. But she plays drums, and we were talking about her coming on the show playing the drum while she tells stories, like a shaman drum, and telling stories. Like that'll be awesome. I hope she does it. I just have to ask, get these people on. But anyways, let's go back to a song. Kind of getting distracted here, but I'm hoping this is all making sense. I didn't write out the outline for the show. All I did was make all these bookmarks, and I had some things to talk about. Trying to piece this together. Yes, this is a tribute to Robert Hunter because he died, and it's also a tribute to the Grateful Dead, the band, and it's also a tribute to the dead, as in everyone who's not alive anymore, and it's a tribute to everybody who is alive. We give so much attention to the ones that died. That's cool. But we need to make sure, and I'm talking to myself too, to make sure we're paying tribute to the people that are still alive. And I know I can do a better job of that. What am I gonna? Wharf Rat. Old man down, way down, down, down by the docks of the city. Blind and dirty, he asked me for a dime for a cup of coffee. Said, I got no dime, I got some time to hear his story. My name is August West, and I love my pearly baker best, more than my wine, more than my maker, though he's no friend of mine. Everyone said I'd come to no good. I knew I would. Pearly believed them. Half of my life I spent doing time for some other fucker's crime. Other half found me stumbling around, drunk on burgundy wine. But I'll get back on my feet someday. The good Lord willing, if he says I may. It's a hard song to sing. Anyways, I know that the life I'm living is no good. I'll get a new start, live the life I should. I'll get up and fly away. I'll get up and fly away, fly away. Pearly's been true, true to me, true to my dying day, he said. I said to him, I'm sure she's been. I said to him, I'm sure she's been true to you. I got up and wandered downtown, nowhere to go but just to hang around. I got a girl named Bonnie Lee. I know that this girl's been true to me. I'm sure she's been true to me. So part of the reason why I started this podcast in the first place, huge part of the reason, is when I used to drive a cab. I drove a cab in Indianapolis for 7 years. And I learned that everybody wants to tell their story. There was this woman, I picked her up, and she's crying. I had a lot of people crying in the back of my cab. You know, people are going through some stuff. This woman, she gets in, she's crying. So I asked her, I was like, is there something you want to talk about? And she says no. And so I went ahead and left it at that. And then when I'm dropping her off, she said something like, she wished I would have asked her again. Because she did have something she wanted to talk about. See, you can't overestimate what it means to just listen to someone. And like this concept of like holding space, I did a show on that a while back, like breaking down what does that mean to hold space for someone. It's an interesting concept. There was this guy I picked up, this old man, he's probably in his 80s. And I was picking him up, I guess it was his lady friend's house. And it was in, if you're familiar with, I know most people that listen are not in Indianapolis, but there's a part of town called Broad Ripple. And there's a South Broad Ripple. It's not too far from my gym. And the guy, he gets in the car, like his lady friend helped him in the car. I mean, again, he's 80 some years old probably. And he'd been drinking a lot. And some people, like if I'm picking up like some bros that are 20 some years old and they're drunk and obnoxious, I'm not happy. It get real frustrating to deal with them. But him, I felt bad for him. And so what I did was I concentrated on my heart chakra, and I made a connection from mine to his. So I'm obviously in the driver's seat. He's in the back passenger side. And so I make a connection from my heart chakra to his, an energetic connection. And then I start running the microcosmic orbit. I'm not going to get too into what that is. But I start running that, and I connect mine with his. And so he's 80 some years old, like I said. He's drunk. He's leaned over on the seat. And I do this just a little bit. He pops up. He goes, I feel a lot better all of a sudden. Cool. So I take him home. He lived like the northwest side of Indianapolis. And just as I was pulling up to his apartment, and his granddaughter comes up. Of course, I didn't know who she was at the time. And she opens his door. She sees him in the cab, and she opens his door. And she goes, "What'd you do, Grandpa?" And so and then she helped me out. I asked if she wanted, I don't know if I remember right. I'm sure I asked if she wanted help getting him in. I'm pretty sure she said no, that she had it. She was a strong woman. I don't mean just like, she could carry him okay physically. Like she could carry him okay mentally too, emotionally. She could carry him. I knew, could tell from what just it's this little bit of a conversation that we had. Her just like saying, and you can tell. I mean, think about that. So you're dropping him off. She comes up. Oh, what'd you do, Grandpa? She's not like mad at him, but she's a little concerned, I guess. Empathetic. Empathetic. Is that the right word? I don't know if that's quite the right word I'm looking for. And she gets him in there. She could handle it. So it seemed like. So what can you just gather from that 30 seconds of her coming up to get him out of the car? Probably maybe not even 30 seconds. So she probably lived with him. He lived with her. Whatever. They lived together. Probably. Maybe she lived in the same building. Maybe she lived in the actual same apartment. I gathered it was like the same apartment. Don't know. And then she's like taking care of him because she wasn't like freaking out or anything. It's like she'd seen this before, and she had it handled. So I learned from driving a cab, everybody wants to tell their story. And just listening helps. And just something is, you don't have to, okay, so yeah, I practice like Zen meditation, Qigong for a long time. Well, I don't think you really have to imagine heart chakra. I was talking about the heart chakra. I don't know if there really even is one. I don't know. But okay, just imagine that there is. Okay, it's on some level, and then just imagine an energetic cord that connects to someone else's. Maybe it's someone that you like. Maybe it's someone that you don't like. See what happens. And then the microcosmic orbit. I don't think I want to get into the weeds of that. Just try the heart thing first and see what happens. Let's so are there people in your life that are like, you know, you should call more but you don't? It's so easy to let the days go by. It's so easy to get caught up in our busyness. I have a full-time job. I have a business outside of the full-time job. I have two cars. I have a Jeep Cherokee and I have a Hyundai XG350. They both decided to give me problems at the same time. And so I put the new thermostat on my car today. It still runs a little hot. Oh, man. So I put a temperature control valve or temperature, a coolant temperature sensor on it like last week, and it seemed like it helped, and then it went back to overheating, and then I put the thermostat on it. It seemed like it helped for a minute, and then I'm driving and then it's overheating. And so I'm trying to figure out, it doesn't need a water pump, doesn't need a radiator, and then I go out to my car and I go to start it and it doesn't do anything. Is it just a connection? Is it the starter? Is it this? Is it that? So I'm like trying to figure out all these different things. And so while I'm not trying to complain about that. So let's say I have these problems with these cars. And for instance, one of them, I had a coolant leak in my Hyundai. And the part that was leaking, I took it to Firestone, and like I took it there. I got fired from the one job. Okay, so the next day I'm at the interview for my new job. Got it, but when I'm in the parking lot of the new job for the interview, my coolant starts leaking a little bit. So great. So I go from there to do my drug test and stuff, and then it's leaking even more. I'm like, oh, great. So I just take it to Firestone without even looking to see where the problem was, because there was so much in my mind. It didn't even cross. It didn't even cross my mind to like pop the hood and see what's happening. I don't think I even popped the hood before I took it in there. So I'm thinking, great, when I have this new job I'm going to be starting, like I got to get it fixed. I don't want to mess with it. I just wanted somebody else to deal with this. Well, then they tell me that the part that's leaking is $1,400 just for the part, not to put it on. Probably costs a couple $100 to put it on. Like, well, there's no way. I said, there's no way that's happening. I'd rather get a new car. And so I go, I'll skip ahead a little bit. I end up fixing it myself for like $3. $3. I get the estimate, $1,400 plus a couple hundred labor, $1,600. I fixed it myself for $3. What I did was once I had time to like think, like process everything, I could look at it and I could see it more clearly. And all I had to do, I put some of this fusing stuff on, kind of like a super glue, over the hole, and I just pushed the hose up. It was like leaking, like the metal part of the hose that goes into the around the throttle body, where the coolant goes around the throttle body. So replace it, $1,600, or just give me a little bit to think, or give a little bit to like clear my mind a little bit and relax. A little squirt of some super. So it would have been free if I already had the super. I paid $3 for the fusing stuff. Boom, fixed. It's been fine since. Until now, it gives me little problems. It'll either fire right up or it won't do anything. And so I don't know if it's a starter or a relay or a. Anyways. So normally, like when there's some kind of problem, I hop in the other car, no problem. But now I hop in the other car and there's like something else. So. What's my point? So when we're overwhelmed with all these things, so my story is not so uncommon to have the little bunch of little things happening at once that they have to be dealt with. I can't just like think positive and then be okay, right? I have to actually do something to fix them. But if we can get to the point where if we can just relax sooner and take the priority. So it's like, okay, you have these things going on. Take 5 minutes and like, call your mom or something like that, you know? Because again, this show is dedicated to the living also, right? Because when these people were alive, Robert Hunter, they did these things that affected us. Now that he's dead, I'm not trying to be funny. He's not going to do anything else. But the music should be around forever. And so new people can find this music every day. It's so cool. I have it opened up to help on the way. I'll go ahead and sing it. Hope you all don't mind my singing or whatever that noise is. Help on the way. Paradise waits on the crest of the wave, her angels in flame. She has no pain. Like a child, she is pure. She is not to blame. Poised for flight, wings spread bright, spring from night into the sun. Don't stop to run. She can fly like a lie. She can't be outdone. Tell me the cost. I can pay, let me go. Tell me love is not lost. Sell everything. Without love day to day, insanity is king. I will pay day by day. Anyway, lock, bolt, and key. I like this part here. Crippled but free. I was blind all the time. I was learning to see. Help on the way. I know only this. I've got you today. Don't fly away, 'cause I love what I love, and I want it that way. I will stay one more day. Like I say, honey, it's you. Making it to, and this is a great part here, without love in the dream, it'll never come true. So it was often done, Help on the Way, Franklin's Tower, and Slipknot, where did it go? Let's see. Help on the Way in Franklin's Tower, and sorry, I won't even. Franklin's Tower. I think I'm just going to read it. In another time's forgotten space, your eyes looked from your mother's face. Wildflower seed on the sand and stone. May the four winds blow you safely home. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. I'll tell you where the four winds dwell. In Franklin's Tower there hangs a bell. It can ring, turn night to day. It can ring like fire when you lose your way. Roll away the dew. God save the child who rings that bell. It may have one good ring, baby, you can't tell. One watch by night, one watch by day. If you get confused, listen to the music play. Roll away the dew. Some come to laugh, they're passed away. Some come to make it just one more day. Whichever way your pleasure tends, if you plant ice, you're going to harvest wind. Roll away the dew. In Franklin's Tower, the four winds sleep. Lean like four lean hounds, the lighthouse keep. Wildflower seed in the sand and wind. May the four winds blow you home again. Roll away the dew. Repeats that a few times. You better roll away the dew. So cool. Let's go on to Shakedown Street. There's getting back to driving a cab. So the first line of this song is, "You tell me this town ain't got no heart." I was picking this guy up, and he was already been drinking for a while, I could tell, and he had his guitar with him, and he was going to play at some bar downtown. and he brought a cup with him. And I usually didn't let people bring a cup with them, but I just let him slide, I think. And so he was like almost like making fun of playing indie. He's like, "Oh, playing indie. Well, we get the biggest bands in the world playing here. What's wrong with Indianapolis?" But I didn't say anything. I was just letting him go. To me, it told me more about like where he thought he was in his life than where Indianapolis is in itself. It's a city has a lot going on. Anyways, you tell me this town ain't got no heart. Well, well, well. You can never tell. Robert Hunter. The sunny side of the street is dark. I'm not going to try. I don't think I'm going to sing it. Well, well, well. You can never tell. Maybe that's 'cause it's midnight and the dark of the moon besides. Or maybe the dark is in your eyes. Maybe the dark is in your eyes. Maybe the dark is in your eyes. You know you got such dark eyes. Nothing shaking on Shakedown Street. Used to be the heart of town. Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. You just got to poke around. You say you've seen this town clear through. Well, 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 you can never tell. Nothing here that could interest you. Well, 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 you can never tell. It's not because you missed out on the thing we had to start. Maybe you had too much too fast. Maybe you had too much too fast. Maybe you had too much too fast and just overplayed your part. Nothing shaking on Shakedown Street. Used to be the heart of town. Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. You just got to poke around. Since I'm passing your way today, well, 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 you can never tell. I just popped in because I want to say, well, 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 you can never tell. I recall your darkness when it crackled like a thunder cloud. Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart when I can hear it beat out loud. Nothing shaking on Shakedown Street. Used to be the heart of town. Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. You just got to poke around. So if you're in Indianapolis, or if you're in whatever town, USA, or you're in people in like South America are listening to this show, it's awesome, in Europe. The map of the people who are listening to this show blows my mind to know that people are listening to this show in Africa, all over Europe, North America. It's amazing. But sometimes people kind of like make fun of their hometown a little bit. And I was lucky enough to have like cool friends. I was born in Shelbyville, Indiana, and I had some cool friends there. I moved to Greenfield, met some really cool people there though, and then I moved to Indianapolis, and now I have so many cool friends. I think about my friends now, and they're so cool. I'm in business with them. We create things. We get together. We bring people together. Everybody is just like doing their own thing. They have their own businesses. Some of them are just kind of like starting out. Some of them have been killing it for a long time. Some of them have been up and down, and it's just so cool. But a lot of people, so when I started this Facebook group, it's called Indie Strength and Movement Community, and my idea was, I'm not like the leader of this thing. It's just, okay, I just made this page. And I encourage people to get together. So we'll go out to the parks and we'll lift rocks and climb trees and just walk through the woods, and or do whatever kinds of stuff, whatever people want to do. There's no class being led. There's no one's in charge. It's just people who are inviting other people, And so you meet new people and you're out in nature doing cool stuff. So if there's not something that, if you're looking at your town like, oh, there's nothing to do like that's as like cool as the stuff I like to do, create it, make it. Little by little, it'll happen. You can just make things happen. Ripple. What kind of ripple? Song's called Built to Last. There are times that you can beckon. There are times when you must call. You can take a lot of reckoning, but you can't take it all. There are times when I can help you out, and times that you must fall. There are times when you must live in doubt, and I can't help it all. 3 blue stars, rise on the hill. Say no more now, just be still. Look for all these trials, soon be past. Look for something built to last. Wind held by the collar, yes, a cloud held by the breeze. You can walk on coals of fire, but sometimes you must freeze. There are times when you offend me, and I do the same to you. If we can't or won't forget it, I guess we could be through. 1 blue star sets on the hill. Call it back, you never will. 1 more star sinks in the past. Show me something built to last. Built to last till time itself falls tumbling from the wall. Built to last till sunshine fails and darkness moves on all. Built to last while years roll past, like cloudscapes in the sky. Show me something built to last, or something built to try. There are times when you get hit upon, try hard, but you cannot give. Other times you'll gladly part with what you need to live. Don't waste the breath to save your face when you have done your best, and even more is asked of you. Let fate decide the rest. All the stars are gone but one. Morning breaks, here comes the sun. Cross the sky, now sinking fast. Show me something built to last. 3 blue stars rise on the hill. Sing no more now, just be still. All these trials soon be past. Look for something built to last. 1 blue star sets on the hill. Call it back, you never will. 1 more star sinks in the past. Show me something built to last. All the stars are gone but one. Morning breaks, here comes the sun. Cross the sky, now sinking fast. Show me something built to last. So cool. Looking for something, sorry. So are these songs connecting with you? Does it sound different to you when you're just reading it? Because sometimes I get more out of it. Like maybe I like sing along when the music is on, but then I read the lyrics. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Foolish heart. Carve your name in ice and wind. Search for where the rivers end or where the rivers start. Do everything that's in you that you feel to be your part, but never give your love, my friend. unto a foolish heart. Leap from ledges high and wild. Learn to speak with wisdom like a child, directly from the heart. Crown yourself the king of clowns, or stand way back apart, but never give your love, my friend, unto a foolish heart. Shun a friend, shun a brother and a friend. Never look around the bend, or check a weather chart. Sign the Mona Lisa with a spray can, call it art, but never give your love, my friend, unto a foolish heart. A foolish heart will call on you to toss your dreams away, then turn around and blame you for the way you went astray. A foolish heart will cost you sleep and often make you curse. A selfish heart is trouble, but a foolish heart is worse. Bite the hand that bakes your bread. Dare to leap where the angels fear to tread, till you are torn apart. Stoke the fires of paradise with coals from hell to start, but never give your love, my friend, unto a foolish heart, unto a foolish heart. Yeah, you get it? So what's the foolish heart? I was just talking about it, right? Of course, but a foolish heart will call on you to toss your dreams away and turn around and blame you for the way you went astray. A foolish heart will cost you sleep and often make you curse. A selfish heart is trouble, but a foolish heart is worse. I guess that almost anybody that gets to a certain age has put their efforts into something that they thought they wanted to work at the time, and then it ends, and sometimes we're still trying to make it work, and then when it just doesn't, we have other people pop into our lives and show us how it can be. Look back like, man, I can't believe I tried that hard to make something work like that. But maybe it's good training because these efforts, these things that we do in these past relationships, we build up a resilience, or a kind of like each way. It's like, okay, now if I see this, I'm not putting up with that anymore. I won't deal with someone that does that. Or now I know when somebody does this that I need to listen better in this way, or I need to act or not act, or I need to whatever. There's been like I've always been a guy that like wants to make things work. And so maybe I've just put effort into things that didn't really suit my higher cause. I've talked about relationship stuff on this show a bunch of times. It's the most important part of our lives, right? Our relationships. Our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with others, the ripples that we create, whether we like it or not, intentional or not. Whether we know it or not. Sometimes things happen we just don't understand. It's just not logical. Think about that. Like if you have kids, if you have like adult kids like me, I think I did a good job. As a dad, I'm not perfect and there's things I could have done better, but all in all, I'd say I pretty much always did what I thought was right with them. And there was a lot of times I would just have them on the weekends, and then sometimes just like, well, every other weekend. A lot of times just every other weekend. For a while, I was getting my daughter every weekend. And I never chose anything over them. So then when I would get them, sometimes it was just great. It's awesome. And then other times I'm like, why are they like, all I want to do is have fun. I want to go out to the parks and take them to see the movies they want to see. And we'd get movies from the library. And a lot of times I didn't have a lot of money, but I would often spend every last bit that I could to have fun with them. And then even when I was doing better, I just didn't understand some things, especially like once they get older, and why aren't they talking to me? And it's like they don't talk to each other. My daughter's 21, my son's 18. I have my own theories. My son's mom was always very difficult. Um, she would try to get me in trouble, and nothing ever happened like that because she was just making stuff up. It was a whole thing. I don't want to get into it now, but I was pretty much doing the right thing the whole time, and uh, but she was telling my son stuff that wasn't true, and it was a whole thing. So then, I still send a message. I was sending one yesterday. I think there's and it's been since about like Christmas since my daughter responded to me. And it's like a whole different thing there. They have different moms. I'm not going to get into why that was. I think it was more about I don't think it was really anything I did. It's just this other stuff that I don't care to make public. But I can pretty much look back and not have major regrets about how I was with them. And there's something about, now in Indiana, it's like more common for the guys to get 50% custody. But at the time, it's like the guy gets every other weekend. he's treated like a criminal. It was so bizarre, but that's just like the standard thing. And so when, maybe part of it is like when the guys would get their kids, so I'm speaking from my own experience, and I'm thinking it's probably other people's too. Then when the kids like like act up, or instead of saying, okay, well, you're grounded, you can't watch TV, you can't play your video game, you can't go outside, you can't do this, you're grounded. Well, just like come to dad's house, get grounded, and then go back. It doesn't make any sense. So you come to dad's house, you can act, like all kids act. Not every kid's, just is a robot that behaves just exactly as you try to program them. So they get away with stuff. They get away with behaviors that would otherwise have consequences. But there aren't any consequences. No immediate consequences. Like you act up, you get grounded. Because the dad who only gets this short amount of time doesn't want to spend all the time with them in trouble. We want to do stuff that's fun. What was I talking about? Anyways, back to the ripple. Ripples we do. Terrapin Station, Part 1, Lady with a Fan. Let my inspiration flow in token rhyme suggesting rhythm that will not forsake me till my tale is told and done. While the fire lights aglow, strange shadows from the flames will grow till things we've never seen will seem familiar. Shadows of a sailor forming, winds both foul and fair all swarm. Down to Carlisle he loved a lady many years ago. Here beside him stands a man, a soldier by the looks of him, who came through many fights but lost at love. While the storyteller speaks, a door within the fire creaks, suddenly flies open, and a girl is standing there. Eyes alight with glowing hair, all that fancy paints as fair, she takes her fan and throws it in the lion's den. Which of you to gain me tell will risk uncertain pains of hell? I will not forgive you if you will not take the chance. The sailor gave at least a try, the soldier being much too wise. Strategy was his strength and not disaster. The sailor coming out again, the lady fairly leapt at him. That's how it stands today. You decide if he was wise. The storyteller makes no choice. Soon you will not hear his voice. His job is to shed light and not to master. Since the end is never told, we pay the teller off in gold in hopes he will come back, but he cannot be bought or sold. Terrapin Station. Inspiration, move me brightly, light the song with sense and color. Hold away despair. More than this I will not ask. Faced with mysteries dark and vast, statements just seem vain at last. Some rise, some fall, some climb to get to Terrapin. Counting stars by candlelight, all are dim, but one is bright, the spiral light of Venus, rising first and shining best. From the northwest corner of a brand new crescent moon, crickets and cicadas sing a rare and different tune. Terrapin Station. In the shadow of the moon, Terrapin Station. And I know we'll be there soon, Terrapin. I can't figure out, Terrapin, if it's the end or beginning, Terrapin. But the train puts its brakes on and whistle is screaming, Terrapin, out of sighting. While you were gone, these spaces filled with darkness, the obvious was hidden with nothing to believe in. The compass always points to Terrapin. Sullen wings of fortune beat like rain. You're back in Terrapin for good or ill again, for good or ill again. These are such cool songs. This is a song that's kind of like, maybe it's not as deep as some of the other ones, but I like it. It has a real cool guitar part to it, I think, and just real cool tune. It's called Easy Wind. I've been balling a shiny black steel jackhammer, been chipping up rocks for the great highway. I'll live 5 years if I take my time, balling that jack and drinking my wine. I've been chipping them rocks from dawn till doom, while my rider hid my bottle in the other room. Doctor said better stop balling that jack. If I live 5 years, gonna bust my back. Yes, I will. Easy wind across the bayou today. And there's a whole lot of women, mama, out in red on the streets today. And the river keep it talking, but you never hear a word it said. I gotta find a woman, be good to me. Won't hide my liquor, try to serve me tea. I'm a stone jack baller and my heart is true, and I'll give everything that I got to you, or yes I will. Easy wind blowing across the bayou today. There's a whole lot of women, mama, out in red in the streets today. And the river keep it talking, but you never hear a word it said. It's cool. I like it. Let's see if I can find this other one real quick. Just another one just popped in my mind. So what do you think? Am I making any sense here? We're making, you want to listen to these songs or? New Speedway Boogie. I'm going to start to wrap it up here pretty soon. I don't know how long I've been going here, but this is another cool guitar. It's well, anyways, New Speedway Boogie. Please don't dominate the rap jack if you got nothing new to say. If you please don't back up the track, this train's got to run today. I spend a little time on the mountain, spend a little time on the hill. Heard some say better run away, others say better stand still. Now I don't know, but I've been told it's hard to run with the weight of gold. On the other hand, I heard it said it's just as hard with the weight of lead. Instrumental. So, who can deny? Who can deny? It's not just a change in style. One step done and another begun, and I wonder how many miles. I spend a little time on the mountain, spend a little time on the hill. Things went down we don't understand, but I think in time we will. Now I don't know, but I've been told in the heat of the sun a man died of cold. Do we keep on coming or stand and wait with the sun so dark and the hour so late? You can't overlook the blackjack of any other highway to ride. It's got no signs or dividing lines and very few rules to guide. I spend a little time on the mountain, spend a little time on the hill. I saw things getting out of hand. I guess they always will. I don't know. I've been told, sorry. I don't know, but I've been told if the horse don't pull, you got to carry the load. I don't know whose back's that strong. Maybe find out before too long. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to give. One way or another, one way or another, one way or another, this darkness got to give. It's cool. Cool song, cool song. Well, I'm feeling like it's coming to an end here, and there's so much good stuff, and it's amazing what Robert Hunter did. You know, imagine the Grateful Dead without Robert Hunter. He didn't play with the band. He wrote a lot of their songs, and what would they have been without him? You know, they had other writers too, and he was a force. He was a force. All the songs that I read or sang today were written by him, and there's many, many more. So many more. It's amazing what we connect with, right? Some of it's, think of like a generational thing. And I wonder, I think like with John Mayer playing with the Grateful Dead now, maybe he's opening up, I'm sure he's opening up the world of the Grateful Dead to a whole new audience. So if you were a big John Mayer fan, maybe you didn't know anything about the Grateful Dead, but you're just a big John Mayer fan. Like, okay, what's he doing with these guys? Or if you're a big Grateful Dead fan, maybe them starting to play with John Mayer is like, what? John Mayer? But you watch them, you listen, you feel it, makes sense. I like it. Well, I hope this tribute was proper. I hope the Dead fans would like it. I think mostly all I did was read the lyrics for the most part, but no, I don't know how well I got my points across because I didn't want it to be too much about me and my stories, but my stories are, they're important to me, and the Grateful Dead is important to me. Robert Hunter is important to me. It's a soundtrack to a lot of my life. There's hardly a day that goes by where I don't hear the Grateful Dead. I have tons of their songs on my playlist. They have, like on Spotify, there's a compilation it's almost 400 live songs. And that's not all I have. I have a bunch of their other stuff too. So what kind of ripple is your this body that you have goes through this dimension, this realm, this earth realm? What kind of effect are you going to have? How are you going to pay tribute to the ones that mean a lot to you? And again, a lot of it goes back to not forgetting to pay tribute to the ones that are still here. And that's something that I'm going to try to do better with myself. The old song, you don't know what you got till it's gone. It doesn't have to be that way. I'll tell you what. Let's end it with one more ripple. Oh, birdsong. I'll end it with birdsong. I forgot to sing this one. This song was written by Robert Hunter. It was for Janis Joplin after she died. Let's end it with this one. All I know is something like a bird within her sang. All I know, she sang a little while and then flew on. Tell me all that you know, I'll show you snow and rain. If you hear that same sweet song again, well, you know why. Anyone who sings a tune so sweet is passing by. Laugh in the sunshine, sing, cry in the dark, fly through the night. Don't cry now, don't you cry, don't you cry anymore. La 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 la, sleep in the stars. Don't you cry, dry your eyes on the wind. La 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 la. All I know is something like a bird within her sang. All I know, she sang a little while and then flew on. Tell me all that you know, I'll show you snow and rain. So cool. Let's see if I can find so many good things. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Where is it? Oh, Standing on the Moon. That's a good one too. Where is it? Sorry. Ah. If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, sing it with me, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. I don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. Reach out your hand. If your cup be empty, if your cup is full, may it be again. Let it be known there is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. There is a road, no simple highway between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. You can choose to lead, must follow. But if you fall alone. If you should stand, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home.